Okay guys, breaking news. There has just been not one, not two, but three mass shootings in the United States. I never thought we'd be doing three in the same video. The first is at a Mormon church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Now, we don't know the shooter's identity or motive yet, but they are reportedly down. There are also multiple victims, which do also include children, and the church that it happened at is now on fire and burning down. The second mass shooting happened in North Carolina after a 40-year-old man pulled up to a waterfront bar on a boat and opened fire. He killed 3 people and he injured 8 more, most of which were just people on holiday. The man is being identified as Nigel Edge. He's being charged with multiple counts of first-degree murder, and police say that the attack was highly premeditated. Now, the third, all of which happened within about 14 hours of each other, was at the largest casino in Texas. A man opened fire at a number of people, killing 2, and 5 others had to be airlifted to hospital. The gunman fled the scene, but now police say that they do have someone in custody. Now, according to the Gun Violence Archive, there has now been 320 mass shootings in the U.S. this year alone.
First and foremost, let me say that all of this situation is a terrible situation. None of it should be happening, ever. No one deserves to lose their life in any of those situations. What I want to express in this video is that it seems to be that people who follow Charlie Kirk like to say that, well, the information that he uses based on statistics and based on what we know and see, that his information, he's just speaking the truth, that he's not spouting racism or pushing racism. So I thought to myself, before I would give how I would truly express in this situation, if I use the Charlie Kirk method, how would I view and look at this whole situation over the last 2 days? Well, this is a sign and indicative of a psychosis based on that white people are mass murderers. That when we look at history and we look at what's going on today, white people are violent and white people are mass murderers. This situation that happened at this Mormon church just demonstrates that white people, when they see someone not worshiping in a religion the way that they deem them to be doing so, that they drive a truck inside of a church filled with gasoline and other explosives, start shooting at people and burn the church down and allow themselves, and then fire at the police officer who has sworn to protect us. This person went in there and tried to kill the people of the parishioners as well as the church. And this is a white person who does this. This just shows how white people seek to destroy instead of to build, that they are not a peaceful group of people. And at that bar, the bar in Wilmington, North Carolina, which I am a member of, my wife and I are members of that bar. It's a pier. It sits right on the pier. Her cousin has been a returning band there multiple times. But this former Marine, decided that he was going to sit out on a boat and kill people. We are literally training white people to go out and commit mass murders by allowing them to take part in the military, in my beloved Marine Corps, that we are allowing them, and we shouldn't. We need to stop that, because this is the result of being white and being militarized, by training them how to sit on a boat and accurately kill 3 people while the waves are moving the boat up and down. Now, thankfully, it was caught by the Coast Guard, right? But this demonstrates how white people, without cause, without reason, will go out and try to just mass murder people. And then here in Texas, we have a gunman going inside of a casino and just decimatingly killing people, murdering people, trying to take back lands that don't belong to them, because they are looking at the history of the manifest destiny, where they were given the right, as they believe by God, to go across this country and mass murder indigenous people by the droves. And now that we have given them the opportunities of having casinos in order to support their communities, now it is white people who want to go and take that. White people don't allow people to have anything to grow. We want to maintain a level of oppression. This is demonstrated in the history of white people. And 300 plus mass murderings in this year alone, and we still have a good 3 months to go left in this country before that number even can start over as far as the new year is concerned. And the overwhelming majority, if not all, are committed by young Christian white males. This just demonstrates that guns in the hand of young Christian white males spells genocide, spells mass murdering. Our children are not safe. You go to a school in Denver, they go into the schools and they shoot and they mass murder. You go into Minneapolis, they shoot and they mass murder. You go into almost any of these school shootings, every last one, except for maybe 2 in the last 3 years, have been done by young Christian white males. They are genetically predisposed to genocide and mass murdering. And we need to put a stop to it. And maybe the solution is that we take all the guns away from the white people. Because obviously young white males are not smart enough or capable enough, intelligent enough to be able to handle a weapon without trying to genocide their own groups of people or anyone else who disagrees with them. That is the type of case that Charlie Kirk would try to make by saying that, hey, the percentage-wise, black people are in jail more so than anybody else, but he'll exclude the fact that also black people are 50% more likely to be exonerated from a crime than anybody else. You see, you can take information and you can spin it in any direction that you want to spin that information. And you can utilize it, and everything that I said is actually true. The overwhelming majority of serial killers, the mass shootings, the mass murderers, owners of guns, mass shootings, school shootings, they're done by white people. We don't have many times where there's a male, not a male, but a black person or a Spanish person or an Asian person that's going in and they're shooting up schools and they're mass shooting in areas. That's not a thing. You know, they may scream gang violence, but see, gang violence is used one gang against another gang. Gangs don't usually roll up into my neighborhood and start shooting people. It doesn't happen. They don't roll up into churches and start shooting people. It doesn't happen. They don't go into casinos and start shooting people. It doesn't happen. They don't go into malls and other places like that or into crowded spaces and start shooting people. Usually gang violence is against the other gang. But yet, mass shootings is always a white person, a white male going to shoot a bunch of people without justification, without cause, for no reason whatsoever. Not that they were other gang affiliates or anything like that. It's simply because they want to go shoot people. It sounds like a mental psychosis that America is ignoring. And what kind of psychosis? At least you can look at a gang member and say, okay, they are rival gangs fighting over territories to sell drugs or whatever they desire to do, what they're doing. But it's kind of like two countries fighting one another. But yet when it's compare that to, I'm just a young white male and I just want to go into this church of Latter-day Saints and I just want to blow it up and burn it down and shoot the people. I want to go in this casino and I just want to burn it down and shoot the people. I want to sit on this boat and I just want to shoot these people having a good time on a pier. And Southport, I said I'm a member. When me and my wife would go there when her cousin's band is playing, there's only maybe 3-4 of us, not including the band members. So it's not a black bar, just to be clear on Southport in Wilmington, North Carolina, just to be clear on that one. So why are we ignoring this psychosis? Because obviously this is a mental problem. This is not a cultural problem. This is not a social economic problem. So when you look at violence in poor areas, you can see that it's social economics, whether it's a poor white area, poor Asian area, poor Spanish area, poor any area. Poverty begets violence. So if we exclude the violence that's created because of poverty, then I think we'll see that those numbers are vaguely skewed. So what we should be thinking about is how do we cure the epidemic of gun violence in this country, period, and not try to separate it based on what color someone is. Not even trying to separate it based on economics. We know better economics across this country would lower the crime rate. Any country that we look at and we see that they have incredibly low crime rate, one of the major factors is that there is a more equal disbursement of wealth within those countries. People have greater opportunities to become wealthy. And so I'm not saying socialism, but just giving the opportunity to do so without the hurdles that we put in front of people simply because of a skin tone or what community they come out of. School education should be equal across the board. Not poor schools have worse education than the richer schools. That's what keeps our civilization the way it is. We can do better and we should do better. So always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.